Hello everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Crockpot Cinema. Tonight, well first, before we get into what we're watching tonight, what we're making, I would like to thank everyone that's tuned in over this week, that's donated to Feed the Frontliners. We had John, Eric, and Christine on the show last Sunday, and we talked about their efforts to bring food to nurses, people that are the first responders, to people that are suffering from COVID-19 or responding to those cases, and they've turned their Parks Vines Barbecue into a place that feeds these people that are doing this kind of work. So thank you guys for donating to the cause that we just did last week.
And this week, our cause will be the LGBTQ Freedom Fund, which helps post bail for people of that community. There's a lot of surprising statistics on their page about what happens to people in jail in their first week, and it's pretty shocking and terrible. So support them if you can. The link is around, and the counter is up here, and you can support directly to them or through our link. Just click anywhere around here and you'll find something really cool that'll take you somewhere else. So thank you for your continued support, and as always, Outpost will be matching whatever we donate during the week. So tell your friends and tell them to tell their friends. Tell your dads when you talk to them today for Father's Day, if you do that and can.
$1 becomes $2, $3 becomes $6.
It's good math.
And I'm gonna stop right there before I get into some muddy waters about addition. So tonight we're watching A Star is Born.
Yeah.
This is the first week that I've not seen the film that we're watching, or haven't reviewed it beforehand. And I'm excited because I love movies about space.
You should be excited, Matt, because movies about space are great and related to our movie tonight. It is the 1937 version with Janet Gaynor and Vincent March. I don't remember. I'll find out and I'll post it. Yeah, or Google it. I looked it up and I have a tiny brain. It's pretty good. I got to watch it. It's cute. It's a little long, so buckle up.
Well, yeah, I'm in for that.
Yeah.
Let's party.
It's a party in a crock pot. Roll meal. It's a party in a crock pot. I said throw a meal. Well, it's a party in a crock pot. Throw a meal. It's a party in a crock pot. Let the show begin.
So tonight, I'm going to walk you through how to make something called a millionaire sour, which is very funny and topical, and you'll see in about 2 hours why. So these are the ingredients you need: simple syrup, Irish whiskey, ginger ale, crushed ice, grenadine, and then your garnishes, which tonight I'm using lemons and cherries. So I'm gonna put the ice in first. It's a little more snow cone than I would like it to be, but I think that's okay. I mean, we'll just see. I'm also not measuring it, so don't do any of the things that I am doing incorrectly right now. Or do whatever you want. I mean, it's your life, it's your Sunday, right? I mean, I hope so. Hey Matt, can you put this in the freezer for me?
I would love to.
Thank you. Let's see. So, simple syrup. I don't generally like whiskey drinks, but I don't mind them. Forget everything. I don't mind them when they're mixed with stuff. You know, I don't know how you guys feel about whiskey. I know that I'm kind of in a rarer camp of people who don't always enjoy whiskey, but you know, that's me, I guess. You can make this drink non-alcoholic if you would like. You just, you know, omit the whiskey, and it still tastes pretty good. So, and it's not terribly alcoholic to begin with, which is kind of nice. This is perhaps the problem with snow cone ice, is that it's very melted already.
This is it, it's all done?
No.
Oh, okay.
Thank
Guess
you.
I just like whiskey.
Well, that's great. One of us should. I do, however, like ginger ale. Ginger ale is non-alcoholic, so don't let that shock you later. It says to use 1/4 a shot of grenadine. I don't know what that means, so I'm just gonna do that. And that feels right to me. Okay, Matt. There you have it. That's not a straw, though. Okay, great. Oh,
Stuck. Nothing's in here.
try harder, like really hard.
I knew it wasn't a straw. Am I supposed to try it?
You can, yeah. I mean, we're all watching you.
Okay.
What?
Oh yeah. That's like a nice summery, sort of like
Oh,
nice
good.
and smooth.
Good.
Why
Millionaire.
aren't you an official bartender?
Because I look all of these recipes up online and I don't memorize them.
Oh. It sounds like if you applied yourself a little bit more, it would be a little bit easier for you. Why did I say that?
I don't know.
Well, home from the movies at last.
Looks like it, Aunt Mattie.
Huh.
What, Dad?
Hello, son. Well, daughter, how was the moving picture tonight?
Lovely. Mice, that's what it was. Just a lot of mice. There wasn't anybody killed in the whole thing.
No, well, then I'll stick to these. These don't talk.
And that big cluck Norman Maine was in the picture tonight. Never does anything but kiss a lot of girls.
Norman Maine is one of the best actors in pictures.
You and your movies, that's all you think about. You shouldn't be allowed to go to them at all if you're asking me.
Too bad I was so busy in the kitchen. I didn't hear anybody asking you. Hello, Granny. Hello, darling.
But of course, no one ever listens to me.
They do if they're within 10 miles of you.
Gadding around picture shows. House all cluttered up with movie magazines. And the other day, I caught her talking to a horse with a Swedish accent.
Now, sis, we're only young once, you know.
Ah, Hollywood. You'd better be getting yourself a good husband and stop mooning about Hollywood. Do you know what she wants to do? She wants to go to Hollywood. I've known it all along. I've seen her making faces in the mirror and talking to herself. That's what comes of your movies.
Why, what would you do if you did go to Hollywood?
I'd be an actress. I would, I tell you. I've always known I could.
Guys, nice. Wouldn't it be wonderful to have a movie star in the family? Oh, Miss Blodgett, may I have your autograph?
You may not know it, Alec, but you're practically on your way to bed.
Oh, Miss Blodgett, you're my favorite actress. Won't you tell me the secret of your success?
Oh, let me alone.
I asked her what's come over you.
I'll tell you what's come over her. She's just a silly little girl whose head has been turned by the movies. And the sooner she forgets the whole thing, the better off she'll be.
Why will I be better off? What's wrong with wanting to get out and make something of myself? What do you do that's so much better? Just because you're satisfied to sit here all your life, you think you can laugh at me. Well, someday you won't laugh at me. I'm going out and have a real life. I'm going to be somebody.
You know, if it was spring, I'd say give her a good dose of sulfur and molasses.
I thought I'd find you. Oh, stop that. Now, stop crying. That isn't going to do you a bit of good.
Oh, I'm crying because Aunt Mattie and Alec make me so mad.
Oh, Alec and Aunt Mattie. Fiddlesticks. They're not important. You're the only one that counts.
Esther, everyone in this world who has ever dreamed about better things has been laughed at. Don't you know that? I suppose I do, but there's a difference between dreaming and doing. The dreamers just sit around and moon about how wonderful it would be.
Hello everyone. Tonight we are here with, it's Matt and I, Kate, and Cody is with us as well, chiming in.
Thanks for watching along with us, guys.
Oh yeah, you want to be, but you want to be evil. Oh, you modern girls give me. When I wanted something better, I came across those plains in a prairie schooner with your grandfather. Oh, everyone laughed at us. They did it all the other
Who in the
time.
chat has seen
Said this country would never be anything
any of the other versions of A Star Is
We
Born?
didn't believe that. We were going to make a
There
new
are
country.
quite a few. I won't say how many. Maybe I will.
Granny, it must have been wonderful.
But don't you think for one
Yes, we'll make sure you guys can hear us all right. If we're a little low or a little hot, just feel free to let us know.
But we kept right on going and we didn't complain because we were doing what we wanted to do. Can you understand that?
Yes, I can.
Could you do it? Could you do it even if it broke your heart? Because remember...
No, it's in Cloudy. This is not the one with Lady Gaga, unfortunately.
Or fortunately.
I guess it's
We all have
all
to
about
take
your
our
preference.
turns. Lady
Yeah,
Gaga can't be in everything from every time period.
that's true.
This is 1937. Lady Gaga would be extremely old if she was in this.
It's a fresh interpretation.
Yeah, I'm excited to see when they go to the moon or where they end up, they go to a star or...
I remembered all he taught me. And I went right on. I buried him out there on that wilderness with my own hands. I went right on that same day. And I kept right on. Even when
Team Angie, have you seen this one before? Or is this a new one for you?
I want to make it worthwhile.
You know, Esther, there'll always be a wilderness to conquer. Maybe Hollywood's your wilderness now. From all I hear, it sounds like it. But if you've got one drop of my blood in your veins, you won't let Mattie or any of her kind break your heart. You'll go right out there and break it yourself. That's your right. Here. Oh, here. Stop that nonsense. Yes. Take this and go to your Hollywood.
Oh, I can't take your money.
Well, why not?
It's your savings.
Well, I was only saving up for my funeral. Now I don't think I'm ever going to die.
Oh, Granny, how can I ever thank you?
By giving me your word of honor that you'll never tell a living soul.
Matt, I believe you haven't seen any of the Star Is
Remember,
Born's films,
If
right?
you do,
Nope,
I'll have you arrested for robbing.
That's interesting.
I have not.
How does that sound, guys? Is that any better? Less background noise, but you can hear us better, hopefully?
Oh, I can make it, dear. Oh, nice. Cold.
I kissed Dad goodbye. Just a little kiss. He didn't even wake up.
I bet you didn't try that on your Aunt Mattie.
Oh, Aunt Mattie. Think of her face when you tell her.
I am thinking about it. I've waited for that chance for 30 years. Here she is, girl. Oh, thank you, Cookie. Good, huh? Well, come on. Here's your prairie schooner.
The movie. Gotcha. I'll turn up the movie a little bit. Let me know if the movie gets too loud.
All aboard.
I think this audio is generally quieter than previous films.
Go on. Goodbye, Granny. Bye-bye. I'll be waiting for you in those movie pictures. Don't tell Matty. You know, my eyes are not as good as they used to be, but my ears are all right. So you remember, talk up good and loud.
I just want to remind all our viewers in chat we will be having trivia at the end of the film, and there is some doozies of questions in there, if that makes sense. Doozies of questions.
Doozies.
Yeah, so make sure you're paying attention. There will be a reward.
You want to go home now?
Well, we
I don't want to, but I will.
We will give the winner a prize.
A real one.
A real prize.
That's
thanks for-
definitely Hollywood.
Yes.
That's how it looks like all the time. People are always filming.
Mine just ordered today.
Good afternoon.
Day, week, or month?
Well, it's a little hard to say. You see, I'm going into the movies.
Well, you better take it for a week. It'll break your jump to Beverly Hills.
Are all the studios really near here?
All except Gaumont British.
I suppose the best way to get a job is to go straight to the studios, isn't it?
Yep.
I haven't any illusions, you know.
That's
I'm
how
perfectly
it's
willing to
done.
play
Yep.
a little bit of a part.
You just
or
go
even
straight
as
to
an
the
extra.
studios and they hire you.
$6, please.
That's it. Your career's
In
set.
advance.
You're an actor.
Why don't you guys try that?
I should have. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have watched this movie. I should have done.
Well, who's our film history buff? I mean, that's more of how it worked, is that actors were signed by studios versus per project for movies, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, yeah.
Agents didn't exist until
80s? Oh, really?
Later on.
Was it?
It was when the CIA was formed. The agents that became important.
And what does that stand for?
Central Asian Agency. Central Asian Agency. Central Agents of Agent Agency. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Creative Artists Agency.
Creative Artists
We were
Agency.
close.
I beg your pardon. I'd like to register for extra work.
How long have you been in Hollywood?
Well, it's about a month now.
We haven't put anyone on our books for over 2 years. Come here. I'd like to show you something.
When I moved to LA, people told me to not worry about anything but finding a job that paid the bills for my first year.
I think that's some of the best advice. And I honestly didn't
Every
listen to
time you
that
see one of those
properly.
little lights flash, it's somebody
just
asking
like,
for a
yeah,
job.
no, I don't need that. I'm just gonna
Every time you hear them say try later, it means there
do an
isn't any
acting
job.
class. Which actually, I mean, that's
You can't keep the
that's
girls at the
important too.
switchboard long, they go crazy.
I guess I kind of scoffed at the job side of it. I was kind of like, oh, a day job, that'll be,
Still
I'll
wanna
get
go
one
in
of
the movies?
those. But man, that put me back for so many years not having a solid day job. Honestly.
You know what your chances are? 1 in 100,000.
Thanks for the donations, everybody. We really, really appreciate it. It's going towards a great cause this week, and as Kate was saying, we're going to be matching every donation we make this
I'm
week.
that one.
At the end of the week, right?
Yep.
Any phone calls for me, Mr. Randall?
Oh, no. Jesse Lasky and Sammy Goldwyn must be writing letters instead. How's the luck today?
There wasn't any.
Maybe you don't go at it in the right way. Now take Danny McGuire here. He knows the ropes. Don't you, Danny?
Sure, I've had him around my neck for years.
What? Oh, Miss Blanca. Danny McGuire, our new tenant.
How do you do?
Mr. McGuire is a big director.
He's been a voice and stuff.
This gentleman here?
Yeah.
Are you really?
His voice is definitely interesting in this film.
Could you possibly use me in a picture, Mr. McGuire? Of course, I haven't had much
I think he's been
experience,
in a
but
film that we've shown
I don't
on this
think that
channel
really
before.
matters
That
if
would
you're
be
willing.
cool.
I think
Can
it's
we
And
throw
I
it
really
on?
Listen,
feel that...
lady. In the first place, I'm
Was
not
he
a
in Charade?
director.
They had
I'm
a lot
an
of Western
assistant
actors in that
director.
movie.
In the
He's not in
second
Back to the
place,
Future, is he?
if I had any
I think he's
jobs
in
to
the
give
third one.
away, I'd
That's what I
confer
mean. I
one
think
on
he's in a lot of
myself.
westerns. I think
And
he
in
was
the
also a
third
voice
place,
in
you
the
should have
like,
stayed
Disney's
back home in the
animated
first place.
Animated what?
Robin Hood.
Oh, yeah. Oh, was he Friar Tuck?
I think so.
It sounds like Friar Tuck now that you
Hey,
mention
wait
it.
a minute.
It's Andy Devine.
Hey, don't be that
Yeah,
way.
tons of westerns. And Robin Hood. Yes.
Don't
Nailed it.
do that.
Just
Gosh,
a
I
great
didn't mean to
voice.
get tough, but our guy thinks he's being kidded when somebody asks him for a job and he hasn't got one for himself. After all, I'm not a big enough shot to hurt your feelings.
I'm sorry. It wasn't just that. It was a lot of things. Looking for a job every day and never getting any nearer to it. I guess I was beginning to get a little scared.
I know. Lady, do I know. Well, there's only one thing to do for that feeling when you're tired and sunk and down to your last nickel. Come on and I'll buy you a drink.
Well, it's not as bad as down to the last nickel. I've still got $11 left.
$11? You're gonna buy me a drink. Come on.
That's great.
That's right, George. There's nothing like a little rum to take away that milk flavor. I beg your pardon.
Certainly. And when I sign my contract, the first thing I'm going to do is see that you direct every picture I'm in.
That's my pal.
Of course, I'm going to be perfectly nice about it, but I'll just insist.
Now
I
that's
like
the
that
way
they
to
set up
talk.
this camaraderie.
Don't let them lick
Nice.
you.
Oh, I should say they can't lick me. If they try anything like
Trying
that,
to turn it
well,
up for you, Lissetinator. It's
I just
like
won't
this
stop.
audio of the film is
Now that's
kinda
right.
quiet in
What
general.
have you got to lose? Another one of these and we'll open our own studio.
Bill rendered $24. Past due. Remit without further delay. Me.
Something you'll never see.
fifth race. Fifth race. Tri-cat. Who's right? Tri-cat. Hey, the program's going to be swell tonight. Now, you take this fella Beethoven. I'm a pushover for him. And Chopin, well, he's not so dusty either. But I kind of wish that once in a while they'd play something you could sort of go out whistling, you know, like Blood on the Saddle, Blood on. Well, there's a tune. Hey, why don't you throw your hat in the air or something, can't you? This is a celebration. My job starts tomorrow.
I know it does, and I think it's swell, Danny.
Gee, I wish you were in on it, too. But, oh, no, it would have to be a war picture. One of those big novelty numbers. A war picture without any beautiful
Let me know how this
women.
sounds, you guys. Kind of messing with some settings here.
Maybe.
Why don't you go home, kid?
Oh, Danny, I can't do that. I came here, and I've got to stay.
Well, now, if it's on account of money, I can...
Thanks, you've given me enough already. Anyhow, this is no time to be worrying. This is a party. Look at all the people. Everybody in the world. Look. That's Norman Maine.
And he seems to have had that one extra cocktail.
Oh, thank you.
Sit down, you dope. That's for the orchestra leader.
All right. Hello, Norman.
Oh, Mr. Maine. Mr. Maine, put your arm around Miss Regis.
Otto, this is the
Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, afraid of crowds.
Go on, get out.
What's the matter? You getting too big to bother with photographers?
Don't want any pictures taken now.
Oh, is that so? Well, supposing I take it anyway.
If you do, I'll shove that brownie number 2 of yours down your throat.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
No, stop it!
Take it easy, Mr. Mayor. Calm down.
Normie, come back and sit down. Everybody's laughing at you.
All right. Hi, Norman.
Is he always like that?
Kate, have you seen the
suppose he
Bradley
has to
Cooper,
sleep
Lady
sometime.
Gaga?
Oh, and he's so wonderful on the
haven't.
screen.
Have you?
Aha.
Did you like it?
I did. I wept like a baby a couple times.
Oh no.
That's an indication of how good a movie is. I don't
Okay,
know.
well, get your Kleenexes ready. Just kidding, I don't know how you react to this one.
Come in.
Were we supposed to read all that?
Hello, Daddy.
I think just the gist of it.
What's the matter?
What's the gist?
Well, believe it or not, I
Keep
got a
sending
job
money.
for you.
She feels
Danny, that's
sad about it,
wonderful.
but
When do I go to
optimistic
the
that
studio?
her break is still
Well,
coming.
you don't exactly go to the studio.
Oh, it's on location.
Well, it's not exactly on location.
But of
either.
course, I haven't any makeup. Will you tell me what to get and sort of help me put it on?
Well, you don't exactly need any makeup. You see, it's not really a picture job. Well, it's being a waitress.
Oh.
Well, it's kind of a picture job if you look at it right.
You said it was a waitress.
Well, it's waitressing for Casey Burke, the big director over at our studio. He's giving a party tonight to kind of celebrate on account of finishing the picture, and he wanted me to get him an extra waitress, and it's $5. And I thought of you right away, Esther.
That was awfully sweet of you, Danny.
Well, there's going to be a lot of big people at Burke's house tonight, and I'll bet you there's any number of big directors, and if you're there, maybe they'll notice you.
I could make them notice me.
Sure you could, Esther. It's your chance.
My chance. All right, Daddy, I'll do it. Oh, but I can't. I haven't got the right things to wear.
To wear? Oh, here. Now, you don't think the wardrobe department's right next to my office for nothing, do you? A perfect fit.
Oh, pal.
Did you get to the preview last night?
I did.
Still true today.
Would you like
Serving
a
to
little order?
Supplement your acting career.
They are very nice.
Well, thanks. What did you think of the picture?
We should have saved it for Thanksgiving. What a turkey.
What a turkey.
Will you have some hors d'oeuvres? You do like hors d'oeuvres, don't you? I don't think there's anything so enjoyable as hors d'oeuvres before supper, and these are rarely delightful.
And at the finish, the kid turns around and sings the lullaby to its mother.
Pardon the big voice, but would you like a little hors d'oeuvre? They say they're the best in town.
Don't tell me. I know. Mae West. That's a great twist. But where are you going to find a 2-month-old baby that can sing?
Oliver? Oh, hello,
Just
Katie.
ignores.
You want to fire me now? Wait till you see the picture. I'm not a director anymore. I'm a male nurse.
What's the matter with the picture?
Guy by the name
That's
of
quite a
Norman
career
Bates.
change. Wow.
His work is beginning
From
to
director
interfere
to
with his
male
drinking.
nurse.
Oliver, don't tell me I'm to direct his next picture, too.
Mm-hmm.
You were my favorite producer.
Now, wait a minute. You just go right on with your directing. I'll take care of these stars. I know how to handle them. I had a serious talk with Norman after that Hollywood Bowl occurrence, and you don't have to worry any more about his behavior.
Excuse me, Mr. Niles. Mr. Libby of your publicity department is on the telephone. He says it's most important, sir. About Mr. May.
Thank you. Oh, it's probably just some little thing.
Of course, Oliver. I'll turn on the radio and see if they've called out the National Guard yet.
Hello, Libby. What's the good word?
Mr. Norman Maine, America's Prince Charming, was apprehended driving an ambulance down Wilshire Boulevard with a siren going full blast. He explained he was a tree surgeon on a maternity case.
Well, will it be in the papers?
No, it won't be in the papers. But that's a nice, expensive hobby of yours, keeping Mr. Maine's informal entertainments out of the public press.
Oh, that's fine work, Libby. Try and see that no one gets to Norman. He's probably home sleeping it off.
Oliver.
Yeah.
Why can't you forget those dopes at the studio for one night? Business, business, all the time. I don't know what's going to become of you.
Norman!
Why didn't you call for me?
Oh, by darling, why didn't I call for you?
In case you've forgotten, I was supposed to come here with you.
Oh, that's all right. I got here without any trouble.
The only reason I don't slap your face.
Yes, darling, I know. Hello, John. Oh, hello, man. What's the matter with Oliver? He looks as if he had bad news.
My face.
Hello, Mary. What's the matter, old boy?
Maybe I'm wrong. I guess I've been drinking too much lately.
Oh, you ought to cut it down. It's bad stuff. Scotch and soda.
Wait a minute.
Come on.
The word, you know, is pronounced when.
Bad dialogue, Oliver.
I'd rather not watch this.
You know best. Soda.
Is that all scotch? Oh my
Thank you.
gosh.
Oh. Go ahead and say it. I've got it coming to me.
He's supposed to have
Don't make it tougher on me, Norman. I don't want to stand here and preach. But take a look at my side of it. I'm trying to make pictures with you.
I know. Costs are going up and the grosses are going down.
No, it isn't that. I've made lots of money with you, and I can afford to take a loss. But I hate to see you going the way of so many others.
Why don't you get Lloyd's to insure you against me?
You can't get insurance against a man forgetting who he is. You're a great star, Norman, but there's nobody so big that he can afford to have people refuse to work with him.
Who doesn't want to work with me? You...
Quiet.
Listen, I know plenty of people who do.
Yes, and so do I. But your real friends can't stand seeing you start to fall apart.
What do you mean by that?
The first signs are always the same. Not being able to remember your lines.
Winston
Cameraman
Crowdy, I
struggling
believe
to
this
cover
is
your
old
hangovers.
Hollywood
But all because
dialect.
you have to have a good time. Every
Kind of a
day and
Katharine
every night.
Hepburn.
Listen, I've warned you for a long time.
Oliver, you're a swell guy. You won't lose any money on me, I'll promise you that. I'll be ready for the curtains when the time comes. When it does,
Thanks, Lisette.
here's my epitaph.
I prefer Katharine Hepburn, old Hollywood. I think it's shorter.
Yeah.
Now I think I'll have a little drink.
Scotch and soda.
Huh?
Scotch and soda. Ooh. Come on.
Ugh.
A little soda?
Caviar?
No, thank you. Yes, pardon me.
Today that would cost about $40.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's like a quadruple, right?
No,
Yeah, that's a
I
lot
mean
of
the
shots.
caviar. No, don't go away. I'm starving. Really. Which would you take?
Well, I don't
You
know.
okay, Cody?
You know,
fine.
I don't know
I'm
either.
fine.
It's hard to choose.
Uh,
I think I'll take caviar.
no, I'm
Mr.
okay.
Maine doesn't care for any more.
Just nearly a flesh wound.
Do you know me?
No. No, Normie doesn't care for any more. Think I shall get very drunk indeed.
Scotch and soda. Sorry, I had something.
It's after this scene.
After the scene?
Yeah.
Cool. So
There's a little bit of a scene, but like...
We got like 2 minutes? 2 minutes? Right, very good.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Mind if I help?
It'll still be on.
Oh no. So you guys didn't hear that.
Won't they miss you?
Oh, no. They'll just look under the table, and when they see I'm not there, they'll forget the whole matter. Hey, what's your name?
Esther Blodgett?
My name's Maine.
I know.
You do? What's so funny?
I was just thinking about all your fans and how surprised they'd be to see you here helping me put plates away.
Oh, they don't know my finer side.
They'd be pretty envious of me, meeting you this way in person.
Oh, how do you do? Well, tell me, are you disappointed?
Yes. Oh, now you've done it.
Oh, never mind that. That makes the room look lived in. Tell me, why are you disappointed?
I was sitting behind you at the Hollywood Bowl the night you didn't want to be photographed.
Yeah. I'm told I crept into many a heart that night.
Oh, I can never explain this.
You know, you have very pretty hair,
You better get out of here.
and a sensitive mouth, and a charming little dimple.
Precisely why are you here instead of with the rest of the guests?
I'm just trying to be helpful.
I see. Are you sure there's no other attraction?
Well, it might be that my old mania for putting plates away is coming back on me.
It's rather odd. I always know where I can find you if there's a pretty girl around.
It's not only odd, it's embarrassing.
You're being deliberately insulting, Norman. I put up with this for long
No,
enough.
dear, don't lose your temper. Remember, we must try to keep the voice low. I know you'll excuse us if we go on with our work.
Now see what you've done.
Come here. Help me up.
Are you hurt?
No more than usual. Come on, the wolves are on us. We gotta get out of here.
Oh, I can't. The dishes aren't finished.
Oh, yes, they are.
All right, everybody, welcome back, or welcome back to cooking. So tonight we're gonna make a couple of things. We're gonna make 3 things. So we're gonna make a sweet limelight salmon paired with 2 side dishes, a garlic spinach and well, just garlic spinach. And then also paired with that, we're gonna make some of what we know at the Pittner household as Dad's noodles. There was Mom's noodles and there was Dad's noodles. If you want to know about Mom's noodles, you're gonna have to come back for a different show. But today we're gonna talk about Dad's noodles because it's Father's Day. So let me talk you guys through about what you guys are gonna need tonight. So if we're gonna make salmon, you're gonna need salmon. So you can choose based off of your family size or how many mouths you're trying to feed. This is about a pound and a half of salmon here that will be split up with all the roommates here at the Marilla household. You're going to need some lime with that because that's where we get the limelight. See what I did there? See what I did? The sweetness is going to come from some honey, and you're also going to need some cilantro. Along with that, like I said, we're going to make a side dish. There's going to be some garlic spinach. So you're going to need some spinach, about 6 cloves of sliced garlic. You want these to be pretty thinly sliced because you're going to be cooking these up and you're going to be chopping on these later. So unless you like huge pieces of garlic, try to slice them thinner. And that's about 6 cloves. You're going to need some lime juice that you guys juice, which I'll show you here in a second. If you guys haven't used one of these things, they are a miracle worker. So these are really cheap. You can get them on Amazon, anywhere else. I got this one at the garage sale. Thanks, Mom. I got that one at a garage sale. So, and then last, we're going to make some of what we used to call Dad's noodles. So, my dad likes to fish. He goes fishing. He would make some fish-oriented dishes just from catching fish, or hence what we're making tonight, Dad's noodles. So, this is what you're going to need. You're going to need a bag of extra wide noodles. You can use elbow, you can use ring noodles, you can use whatever you want. But tonight I'm going to use some extra wide noodles provided by Kroger Groceries. Kroger.
Groceries.
That's it. So I'm going to preheat some water here. Not preheat, I'm going to start boiling some water. We're going to do that. And then once that's done, the ingredients that you're going to need for Dad's noodles are as such. So you don't always put cream corn in there, but you can. And we're going to do that for tonight because it's going to be a side dish. We're going to add some cream of mushroom soup, which I have a fun story for you guys later if you stick around about a can of cream of mushroom soup and me trying to help my dad cook. But I'll save that for later. And I got some Star Kiss tuna. You don't need to get Star Kiss, but a star is born. And I'm guessing that there'll be a kiss in this movie. So we got that as well. So we're going to boil the water, and once this water gets boiling, dump that in there, and then cook the noodles appropriately. Soft, tender. If you like them a little bit more al dente, please be my guest. And then when that's cooked, you're going to come back, and I'm going to mix it all together, and we'll show you what you guys got. We'll show you what we got. So I'm going to boil that, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to start cooking the salmon and this garlic spinach, but you guys will check back in, and we'll talk about that when it comes to that. Kate, so we were talking about...
Yes.
We were talking about the show earlier.
Yeah.
And we were talking about throwing some questions to chat for us all to share. Is there any like dad traditions, things that you guys have, since it's Father's Day, that you guys want to toss in the chat? So like my dad would make his noodles. That's one thing. Oh, this is something I want to talk about. I almost forgot. So growing up, I grew up in a large family. I have 9 brothers and sisters, for anyone in chat that doesn't know that. And one thing I appreciate growing up is that my mom, she was a stay-home mom. She was an awesome stay-home mom. But sometimes she'd have my dad cook, and it wasn't just about her cooking and all the meals. My dad would cook too. And I think as kids, that gave us permission, at least the boys in the family, that cooking wasn't just like a stereotypical, like, the girls cook and the boys do labor outside. And from being a young kid, I always enjoyed cooking. I thought that was like cool, that you weren't afraid to like make food, and like by making food people gather and you can socialize. So yeah, I always appreciated that about my dad, that he taught me how to cook a little bit along with my mom. It was a shared practice.
That's nice.
Yeah. Anything from you, Kate, about as far as like things that you felt like you learned at like a little age, or like things that your dad used to do that you're like, oh, he did that, so that's something that I want to take away from, or?
I mean, I feel like parenting was pretty even in our household too. I have more of a funny story.
Okay.
You always like to put this towel kind of over your shoulder like that. It's your favorite thing about cooking. You've mentioned, yeah. So my dad, he used to always wipe his hands on his pants instead of a napkin, no matter what. You don't have to show people that. But okay. So he always wiped his hands on his pants. So my mom would, you know, nonchalantly, she would place a napkin on his jeans to keep him from wiping his fingers on his pants. So then he would just start doing this. So then eventually by the end of meals, he would just be like covered in cloths or napkins or something, because he kept finding a different place to just wipe his hands. So I always remember that being pretty funny. He was just kind of a human napkin by the end of the meal.
A human napkin.
Really liked food, so I really like food.
Yeah, food's great. I think that your both parents or whoever, you know, that raises you bring to you that they give you this sort of gift of food and like what you're going to cook.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's 50% of the show is us cooking.
Yeah.
So if you guys in chat have any things that you feel like your parentals or your father figures in your life have taught you guys, just put those in chat, those nice things that you feel like you took away or that you got.
Or things that, if you are now a father or a father figure, things that you've learned or started doing, or that you did because your dad did, that you're like, oh man, I'm doing it, I'm doing the thing. So we want to hear about it. Or if you have questions, in a couple breaks we're going to answer questions too. So feel free to shout stuff at us.
Okay. When we come back, we'll be sauteing some salmon, we'll be making some spinach, and we'll be mixing up Dad's noodles. Enjoy the movie.
Dad's.
Dad's noodles.
Well, I bet I know what you're going to say now.
What?
Good night.
Good night, and thanks.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, you realize that all I found out about you is that you're foolish enough to want to go into pictures?
But why is it foolish? Look at you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. No, I'd rather like to go into this matter a little more thoroughly.
Oh, that's awfully nice of you.
So why don't we go on up to my place and talk it over?
Oh, no, thank you very much, but I really must say good night.
Good night.
But you're not angry.
No. I'm hungry.
Well, why don't you go and get something to eat?
Good night, Miss Blodgett.
Good night, Mr. Maine.
Wait a minute. Peter, the least I can do is to see you to your door. Will I see you again?
I hope so.
Has anyone ever told you that you're lovely? Well, now you know.
Thank you.
It's hard to say, but I want to say it anyway. You know, on the screen, I'm in private life, you know. But whatever I do, I still respect lovely things. And you're lovely.
I kind of wondered what this shot was trying to tell us with this very specific shadow.
And it isn't that bump on the head
like she's
doing this.
starting to be corrupted by Hollywood. Something, I don't know.
The Hollywood isn't nice, glamorous.
Good night.
Yeah, it's just
Beautiful
such a
as it seems.
specific shot, and they really hang on it. And it's like
Hey!
against the normal, like,
Mind if I
starlit,
take just
cute,
one more
key
look?
light maneuver.
quite impossible. I wouldn't even consider it. No, no, no.
Was that an error? That seems correct.
Who is it? Oh? Norman? What have you done now? You're not in jail, are you? Oh. Yes, I see. Oh, it's that again. I see. She's beautiful. Yeah, I know. You want me to give her a screen test? Yeah, certainly. She's got wonderful possibilities. Oh, you know she's got something. Well, you knew all the other ones had something, too.
Oh, no. I tell you, Oliver, she's got that sincerity and honestness and a...
sincerity and honestness that makes great actresses. Oliver, I am so sure of this girl that I want to take the test with her myself. Listen, Oliver, you've worked hard. You're entitled to a break. You get...
Yes, I heard you. Anything, anything. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Oliver, look, you try to get a little sleep now, old man. Right. All right, boy. Good night. Now tell us. Telephone book.
This is such a weird bit.
Telephone.
Hey, Oliver, telephone book.
Over here, over here, over here, over here. Oh, oh, no.
Yes?
Telephone.
For me?
Some drunk trying to be funny says he's Norman Maine.
Oh, thanks, I'll be right down.
And Miss Blodgett, would you give him a message for me? Tell him it's 3 o'clock in the morning!
Hello? What? Oh. 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 Oh, yes. I'll be there. Oh, thank you.
Hey, Harvey, I first saw this this weekend for a production
Andy, what do you think?
show.
I'm going to take a
not
test tomorrow, and
sure
Norman
about
Main's helping me
Kate
do
when
it.
she first saw it. She's busy
I'm taking one,
helping
too.
out with some official
Garbo's
crockpot
assisting
cooking.
me.
Kate, when did you first see this film?
Yesterday.
Nice. Okay, me too. Yeah.
Move that gobo in. Put a silk on that broad. No, the Yankee. Is this light too hot for you, Haley? Okay, but cut down on your backlight. Put a double on that 90. Bring it down a little. That's it.
I like watching sex scenes in films because I like trying to see how much I understand and how much scenes I do.
Pull down on that 150.
You have to understand what? Sorry.
Like all of the banter in the background and all the things that they're saying, the things that people are doing.
Oh, do you feel like you can pick out dialogue?
Yeah, like I heard someone say put a double on that, which is like take off or turn. Just stuff that I wouldn't have known 15 years ago.
Gentlemen, please, if you don't mind. This is just a test. Ready, Mr. Burke? All ready, Mr. Burke. Ready, Mr. Burke. Ready now, Mr. Burke. All ready, Mr. Burke. Ready now, Mr. Burke. All ready, Mr. Burke.
We're ready, Mr. Burke.
All right, let's take
That is a lot of crews for a test. That's very true.
I think they thought it wasn't a test. Like, they were surprised.
Ready, Norman? Yeah.
Wow.
You ready, Miss, what's your name?
I love that bit of screaming.
You soon know your name, mister. The whole world's going to know.
But I'm so scared. Maybe I better not try
It's pretty
today.
great.
Oh, come on, now don't be foolish. They all had to go through this. Harlow, Lombard, Myrna Loy, and now Esther Blodgett.
All right. I'm ready.
This is the take. Roll 'em. Quiet. Hey.
I may as well tell you that my whole organization thinks I've gone a little nuts to sign you. Well, maybe they're right. I've been nuts before. You see, all the experts seem to think that your type is a little mild for present-day taste. But I rather believe that tastes change, like eyebrows. And I think that also like eyebrows, tastes are going back to the natural. You look like a nice girl.
How's the crockpot cooking going?
I think I'm going to like you.
It's going good. Things are prepped.
That's not
Ready
important.
to
I think the
cook
public will like you.
when we come
That
back.
is important.
Yes. I see what you mean. I mean, I know it is.
Only don't think it's going to be easy. Nothing you really want is ever given away free. You have to pay for it. And usually with your heart.
That's
Someone
so
else
true.
told me that once.
But you still have to work it out for yourself. Oh, well, all this is just a long way of saying, I'm glad you're with us and good luck to you. And now I'm going to turn you over to our demon press agent, Libby. Don't let him frighten you. He has a heart of gold, only harder. And for the love of Pete, learn to close your mouth and keep it closed, even in your love scenes.
Are you a Russian?
No, I was born in Fillmore, North Dakota.
Oh, no.
Fillmore, North Dakota.
Trace
North
all light of
Dakota,
day
you say?
in a mountain cabin.
I know a few people
Trappist
from
hut,
North Dakota.
high up in the Rockies. Go on.
Wonder if that'll be important
I
later.
always wanted to be an actress.
Dreamed of footlights as Lonely Kitty. Are you sure there's no Russian in your family?
Positive.
I mean,
That's a
I usually
shame.
hear people say
Well,
they haven't met
what does your
anyone
father
from
do?
North Dakota,
He's a farmer.
and clearly they haven't watched this movie.
Social registerite father. Fed up with hypocrisies of 400, sought wilderness for consolation. There amidst the mountain flowers, he raised another blossom. His lovely little daughter. What's your name?
Esther Victoria Blodgett.
Greatly appreciating your attention in this matter, very
Do
truly.
you know what her name is? Esther Victoria Blodgett.
He will have to do something about that right away.
Esther Victoria Blodgett.
Blodgett.
Well, that Blodgett's definitely
You
out.
say it
Let's
like
see,
that. Of course it
Victoria,
sounds bad.
Victoria. Vicky, how about Vicky?
Oh, I think that's terribly cute.
Let's see, Vicky. Vicky what?
Vicky, pronounced Vicky.
Siesta, besta, sesta, desta, festa.
Oh, that's very pretty.
Jester, Hester, Jester, Lester. Vicky Lester.
Oh, I like that.
Say it.
Vicky Lester.
Say it again.
Vicky Lester.
Say it again.
Vicky Lester.
Say it. Vicky Lester. Say Vicky Lester. Vicky Lester.
Vicky Lester.
Vicky Lester.
Vicky Lester.
Fast. Oliver Nile Studio discovers new starlet, a Cinderella of the Rockies. Her name is Vicky Lester. Those who have peeked tell me she couldn't be more divoon. The face of an angel and such natural talents. Her voice is a symphony. Her very walk, they tell me, is enough to drive men mad.
Not that way. Get the lead out of your feet. Lift them up. That's better. It's terrible, but it's better.
With show horses,
The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven.
See, through the mouth, my child, through the mouth.
That's how they get horses.
The nose is for smelling roses.
Kind of similar.
Proceed.
Wow.
Making her a show horse.
Does she have to look surprised all the time? Anyway, it's just a rough sketch.
Pretty small mouth, eh? Oh, well.
Give her that Crawford smear. This'll give her that Dietrich. Yeah. We're on the wrong track. She still looks surprised.
Listen, drunk people. We're shooting on the set this morning, not in the commissary. Now, come on, snap into it.
Acme Trucking Company? No. Mr. Smith is not in. Acme Trucking Company. No. Mr. Smith is not in.
Team Angia is probably makeup by Max Factor.
Good morning. What can I bring you, Mr. Maine? That just shows how long you've been here.
Mabel, bless you. How soon are you and I going to be married, huh?
I don't know. You'll have to ask my mother.
Acme Trucking Company? No, Mr. Smythe is not in. Acme Trucking Company? No, Mr. Smith is not in. Acme? No, Smith ain't in. Acme Trucking Company?
I'd like to speak to Mr. Smith, please.
Mr. Smith is not... Oh, Norman.
What's all this between you and Smith?
I've got a part. It's only one line, but it's in the picture.
So it's ambition that made you break that date with me last night.
Well, I had to be here so early this morning. And
So did I. I had to stay up all night to make it.
You've started your picture, haven't you?
No, we're still in the testing stage.
Been there, right, Kate?
Can't seem to get the right girl for the lead.
You'd think with all the girls there are that...
Yeah, I know, but this one's got to be different. She's got to be little and cute and sweet and intelligent. It'll blow me down.
What?
Will close my tired old eyes.
What is it?
Hold everything. Come on. Come on.
Well, you've been through the whole casting directory.
I'll work day and night, Mr. Niles.
And I'll work with her, Oliver.
And I can be mean or nasty or anything you want, Mr. Niles.
If she clicks, Oliver, you've got a star overnight.
Okay.
Okay.
end of the picture.
Do you think we were noticed?
By no one. They're much too busy playing at croquet. I've loved you all my life.
But we only met 2 days ago.
That's when my life began.
You know, I think she's the same type I am, don't you?
I think she's sweet. Well, it's Vicki Lester's picture, all right.
I think she was much better than he was.
These producers are so horribly dumb. They won't know how good she is.
Well, maybe it's because she's a good girl.
Oh, Maine's not so bad, but it's Vicki Lester they'll go to see.
Isn't she, darling? I think she's the most precious little thing I've ever seen.
It's a knockout, Libby.
You might mention that when you write your review.
That Lester kid's a gold mine.
Didn't you like Norman Maine?
Was he in it?
Libby, I'm afraid we have another hit. Huh?
It's in the bag, neatly tied up with beautiful pink ribbons.
Say, where are Norman and Vicki?
I don't know. I thought you had them.
I wish they'd come. We're having a party at the Trocadero.
Isn't it thrilling running away from people? Norman, it's so exciting,
So new. A star is born. Come on, run.
That's the movie.
It's wonderful, isn't it? Crazy quilt.
Oh. It's a carpet that's spread for you. It's all yours from now on, you know? Come, Esther. You're a success. You'll have everything in the world you want. I hope it'll make you happy.
Hasn't it you?
But then there was one thing I never had. Lots of times I told myself I'd found it, but I always knew I was lying. Still, I never stopped looking for it.
Maybe it'll come.
Well, I think it has come, Esther. I only wish it went too late.
Oh, but it's not too late.
Oh, you can't throw away your life the way I've thrown away mine and have anything left that's good enough. No.
You can. Norman, you can.
You mustn't tell me that, Esther. I'm so afraid that I'll believe it. Gotcha. Shoot your right. Swell, isn't it?
Lovely.
What's gotcha getting? Can't you hear me, gotcha? Shoot your right! Get down! Gotcha got him! Gotcha got him!
He did, didn't he?
Yeah, but he'll be up, though. You like it?
Sure I do.
You like me?
Sure I do.
Boom. That reminds me, will you marry me?
No, thank you.
Come on, gotcha, finish him. Why won't you marry him?
Wasn't that dependable?
Hey, shoot your right!
Throw away your money?
Break him up in there, break him up.
Drink so much.
Well, suppose I quit drinking.
Yes?
Come on, gotcha, shoot the right in there, the right! Suppose I save my money.
Yes?
There he goes, let him have it! Suppose I became absolutely dependable on all occasions.
Yes?
Hey, gotcha, he's got him! He's got him!
He certainly did.
Gee, that's a beautiful fight.
Norman.
What? got you.
All that for me if I said I'd marry you?
No, certainly not. I was just supposing. We're going to be married. Guess I didn't read that line right. I'll try it again. We are going to be married.
Both of us.
Yeah, to each other. What do you think of that?
Well, when? Where?
Well, we thought we'd elope in the conventional manner.
What's the matter?
It's trying to decide whether it's good for the studio.
Is it?
It is. And bless you, my children. When's it going to happen?
Oh, we thought we'd just sneak out sometime.
We're not telling anyone but you.
Listen to this. The screen's ideal romance blossomed into breathtaking reality today when Vicki Lester and Norman Maine, America's dream lovers, slipped quietly through the portals of holy matrimony. How does it sound?
Horrible.
But you see, we're going to elope.
Sure you are. It'll be the biggest elopement this town ever saw. We'll get a tie-up with the Army, have you escorted all the way down to Yuma by 20 of their new bombing planes.
Is he going with us?
Don't you think we can work this thing out better alone? No sense in bothering the happy couple with all the details. I'll see to it that you get a carbon copy of the whole layout.
I can hardly wait. I'm sorry, we didn't realize that we were in the way. While you're settling the details, you don't mind if I take this woman out and buy her a ring, do you?
Sure, go ahead. We want everything legal. That's a charming match. A nice girl like Vicki, and public nuisance #1.
Now, wait a minute, Libby. Norman's all right. And if you'll pardon my pointing, Vicki's business is her own. It doesn't require any comments.
I wasn't making any comments. I just said it was a rotten shame.
So go ahead and plan the elopement.
Oh, that elopement stuff is out. You can't get any scope in that. We're going to have a wedding. Where'll we have it?
Customary place, I believe, is a church.
Nah, it's been done. This has got to be something big. The beach. I can visualize it. The bridesmaids in bathing suits. 20,000 Santa Monica school children spelling out the word love. It's a novelty, but is it big enough? Why not the city hall? A police escort of every motorcycle cop in town. Sirens screaming, confetti pouring out of buildings like the Lindbergh reception in New York, only on a big scale. What's the matter? Isn't it big enough?
All right, there we are. We're just putting some pepper on the salmon as it cooks. Feel free to season generously. We're cooking it with the skin down to start. It's good to cook it on that side because you can kind of make it crispy, get it going. You don't really want to be flipping the fish numerous times. You don't really want to flip it once. If you can, at least I think that's what my dad said. Guess we'll find out when I talk to him in a couple of weeks and see if I did this right. So yeah, generously put some pepper on there. You can put a little bit of, I got a little sea salt here. We're just gonna kind of toss that over top. There we go, and that's just gonna cook for a little while. You have it, medium, high heat. You don't want to cook things too hot. Like my dad would always say, watch your fire. Watch your fire. Your fire's too hot. Your fire's too hot. So sometimes you gotta turn your fire down. And it's not good to cook things on too high of heat. Speaking of a little too high heat, I'm gonna go with this garlic here, which I got cooking up. Woohoo! Heat's pretty high. So if you were in the room, you could smell that garlic cooking. And the garlic cooking like that, which it's really hot. I'm gonna turn it down, Dad. Sorry. Woo! Ow! Look out! Caution! Caution! There's a lot of oil popping here. Whoa! It's getting wild here at Crockpot Cooking. Back up, Luke. We got this garlic cooking, and you can smell it. You can smell it filling the aroma filling the room. This is the right time that you want to be adding your spinach. That's right. I'm going to turn down my heat, and I'm going to toss some spinach in here. And you can kind of add as much as you want, really. But the more spinach you have, the less garlicky it is. So I'm going to add a little bit more, but what you want to do is, when you're cooking it like this, you want to let it cook up until it wilts, and then you can always add more. So we're going to turn our heat down, and we're going to put a lid on this, and we're just going to let that kind of cook up a little bit more with the garlic and the spinach in there. So I'm going to put a lid on that. Salmon's cooking well. We need to prep a few other things for the rest of this dish. So, Kate, I'm going to need your help in just a second, because by the end of this, you're going to know how to make Dad's noodles. And you can make it anytime. Feel free to make it whenever you want. And just, the only thing is you got to have to let me have some if you make it.
Something smells fishy in here.
That's Kate. She's a comic relief in this show.
Yeah.
And that's why I like having her around. Speaking of, I couldn't find a good transition there, but I got a lemon. I'm going to show you guys a little trick, or a little thing you guys didn't know about. Like, this is a little juicer. It's very inexpensive. Like I said, I got this at a garage sale.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom. My mom's big on going to garage sales, and you're going to hear, that's going to be a connecting thought later on to some of the story I have for you guys. So, these things work awesome. All you do is you cut the lemon in half, if you haven't used one of these things, and you just press it down there, and you just twist it. And you can get a lot of lemon juice out of here. If you're making cocktails like Kate does every week, or you're making fresh food, it's always better to have fresh lemons and limes versus the stuff that comes in the container. It's not the same. It's not the same. My buddy MJ, who lives in Minneapolis, he's a bartender there, and I think he would agree with me. You don't want the prepackaged stuff. If you want that extra TLC in your food, it just comes with a little extra effort. Not much, though. Look how much lemon juice you get out of that. So this lemon juice, we're going to be used later on to add to our garlic spinach to give it a little extra punch. And all you need is a half a lemon. You don't need a lot of lemon for something like that. And we got that done. Another little bit of squeezing and pulping and juicing that we need is also some lime juice. Hence the sweet limelight that we're going to be making for the salmon when it's done. So what I did here is I just took a jar. If you watched last week, you'd remember my little jar trick. So you take the lemon juice, put it in here, and we're going to make up a little bit of a glaze, something to kind of put on top of the salmon. I don't know if my dad's tried this before, but Dad, I got a little recipe for you if you're watching. So I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil here, and I'm going to add some honey. That gives it the sweetness, the sweet, sweet limelight as we're playing into for this movie. So I'm going to add a little bit of honey, and what you do is just pop this on here, and you just give it a little bit of a shake. And we'll shake this up nice, and then later on we're going to add this to our salmon when it's done. Not yet. The nice thing about mixing up in a separate container, not just throwing it in the dish, is that if it's not quite right, you can always add a little bit more to make it right. And I think I said this last week, but when you're cooking, don't be so, I don't know, what's like, you know, you don't need to follow the instructions exactly. That's one thing that I learned from my parents, is that you can kind of make it up as you go, or you can just make with whatever you got in your fridge. So this is all prepped. We're all ready to go. But as this is cooking, we can mix up our side dish tonight, which is typically a regular full meal at a Pittner household, but we're just going to use it as a side dish tonight. So, Kate.
Yeah.
Would you come over here, and would you do the honors of helping me mix up some Dad's noodles?
Yep.
All right, so come right in here. So we have our noodles from earlier. They're all steamed up. They're drained. Water's out of there. And now we just need to add some ingredients.
Okay.
So if you would do me the honors by putting this cream soda corn.
Just everything?
Yep, you could just put it all in.
Even the cheese?
Even the cheese.
Okay. That's one. I might need a spatch for this guy.
All right, I'll help you out with that.
Okay. See? Not great. Boy. Get. Thanks.
There you are. So as Kate's mixing this all up, I'm going to tell you guys a little story. So I don't know how you're good. I don't know how old I was, but let's say I was in like 3rd grade. My dad was making some of his noodles here. Dad's noodles, Dad's famous noodles. My dad's not famous, but his noodles are.
Thank you.
And he sent me to the grocery store with a bike.
No.
All right, we don't need the whole can in there. We don't like eating metal.
You said everything.
And so he sent me to the store to get him some cream of mushroom soup. So I drove down to the Piggly Wiggly, which was down the street, in my bike. Actually, my bike wasn't working, so I used my dad's bike, a bike that was...
Motorcycle.
No, not a motorcycle, just a regular bike. But it was too big for me, though. It'd be cool if it was a motorcycle, but not cool with what happened. So, went to the store, got myself some cream of mushroom soup, and then I put it on my bike handle. And it just kind of kept hitting against the wheels, and it wasn't a big problem. I didn't live far from the grocery store. Right when I got to my alleyway, the can of mushroom soup wedged itself in between the spokes and, you know, the fork of the wheels that connect the wheel to the main bike.
Mm-hmm.
And my whole bike turned all the way around, and my head went directly into the ground. And I was laying there, and there was a few people that slowed down and asked if I was okay, and I was like, yeah, and I was with my brother, and he drove on ahead, letting them know that I'd fallen off my bike. So I got home, and my dad, you know, he took care of me, bandaged me up, got all the blood off of me, and, you know, I said I was kind of tired, and I went to go lay down for a nap. You know, he's like, here, just lay down. Well, I closed my eyes for about 2 seconds, and I remember my mom coming in. She was upset with my dad, and she said, "You don't have them take a nap when they have a head injury." So my mom woke me up because she was really concerned. But my mom also had planned to go to garage sales that night. You know, go a little early, see if you could knock on the door and be like, "Can we check out the garage sale early?" You know, it's the best way to get all the good deals.
Sure.
Best way to get, you know, little juicing things like this for absolutely nothing.
Thanks,
and
Mom.
So my mom had me go with her, and I was in charge of going up and knocking on the door to ask these kind folks if we could look at their garage sale early. And I went up to knock on one person's door, and they said, yeah, that would be all right. So we looked at it, and I got back to the car, and I just told my mom that I wasn't feeling very well, and I felt like, you know, throwing up, and which I think I did on the street. And then at that point, they decided to take me to the hospital, to which they found out I had not a minor concussion, but a near concussion, whatever that is. And I think I spent the evening in the hospital. So this is my connection and memory with my, not only garage sales, but my dad's famous noodles. And, you know, if you guys have any stories about stuff like that, please feel free to share them in the chat. Yeah. Did you have any near-death experiences while cooking with your parents?
No, but I did have, there's one time when my mom was out of town, and so our dad was watching us, and he was busy in his office or one of his workrooms doing whatever dads are doing. And I was crafting or something, and somehow I managed to staple my thumb, just right in the middle of it. And I remember going, "Dad, can you come here?" And he was busy, so he was like, "No, you come to me." Like, I'm like, "Okay." So I like go in and like show him my thumb. He's like, "Oh God," and then like had to figure out how to get it out because you know it clamps. So like, and then he felt really bad because he was like, "No, you come here," and he was not like an uncompassionate man. So I think
he was just busy and thought you were
the one time that he was like, "Just forget it." Yeah, well, that was like it's not a big injury, but it was like a funny like, "Oh, okay, I guess."
Yeah, he felt bad. Yeah, yeah. I think my dad felt bad too.
Yeah.
If you get a head injury, don't take a nap. Stay awake to know that it's not something more serious. Speaking about serious, I'm serious about getting back to this film and seeing what's going on.
Yeah. Next break, we will be doing questions by the fireplace. So if you have questions for us or stories that you want us to tell, then put them in chat. We won't answer them during this next section of the film. We'll wait.
Speak or else hereafter forever hold his peace. Do you, Alfred Henkel, take this woman as your lawful wedded wife? Will you love, comfort, honor, and keep her in sickness and health as long as you both shall live?
I will.
Do you, I beg your pardon. Do you, Esther Blodgett, take this man as your lawful wedded husband? Will you obey, serve, love, honor, and keep him in sickness and health as long as you both shall live?
I will.
Place the ring on her finger. Hurry, please. Now, by virtues of the power invested in me as Justice of the Peace of San Bardo Township, County of Los Angeles, I pronounce you man and wife.
Quiet!
And now I must exercise my prerogative of office. I hope you'll be very happy, Mrs. Henkel.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Oh,
Thank you
Danny.
very much.
Now, if you'll please sign the license.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Mrs. Henkel, I can't help but believe I've seen you somewhere before.
Oh, really? Well, I believe this is the first time I've ever been in San Vardo.
You know, your face is familiar, too,
Really?
Mr. Henkel.
There you are, sir. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
See you again.
Yes, goodbye.
No, I don't mean I'll see. No.
Yeah, I think you got by with it.
But it was close. That JP was just beginning to remember where he'd seen us.
Well, anyway, we got away from Libby.
Hello, Toots.
If you will be kind enough to glance between my shoulder blades, Mr. and Mrs. Henkel, you will find there a knife buried to the hilt. On the handle are your initials.
Lovely to have seen you, Libby. Hold him,
wait.
hold him, Danny.
There go a couple of rats I raised from mice.
Well, they got a right to get married, haven't they?
I haven't got any right to double-cross the public, and I haven't done it yet.
Hey!
People versus Porky Washington, who is charged with violating Section 600.
Young man, you're in contempt of court.
Operator, get me the Los Angeles Tribune.
I've a good mind to put you under arrest.
Wait till I make the score. You wait, too. Tribune, give me the city desk. Johnny, this is Matt Libby. I got a flash for you. Norman Maine and Vicki Lester were married at 2:30 this afternoon.
Vicki Lester? Court recess.
Give me a horse, a great big horse, a great big buckaroo, and let me wahoo, wahoo, wahoo!
Thanks again, everybody, for all the donations to the LGBT Freedom Fund. We really, really appreciate it.
Wahoo.
Hey, Wahoo. I don't want to sound immodest, but I think I've stripped the gear.
Well, sit down, won't you, and let's get acquainted. We'll probably be seeing quite a bit of each other from now on.
Well, might just as well break the ice now as later. Now we're old friends. Say, have I got time for a shower before dinner?
Plenty, if you can find the shower.
I never can remember where that thing is. Does it pull out or slide under?
Here, I think I can find it. Nope, it's the linen closet. Here it is.
Nice work.
Oh, half the time those things are just luck. I'll see if I can disinfect this steak.
Esther, there's no soap.
Here.
Thank you. Oh, and Esther.
Yes, dear?
I'll need a washcloth, please. Oh.
How you fix the cigarettes?
You know I never smoke underwater.
So what do I do to make this thing work?
Pull that gadget at the top and pray for rain.
Well, I can't reach it. I can't get my hands up.
If you've gone in there with your arms down, you'll never get your bath. Unless you're a contortionist.
Yeah, well, I'm not a contortionist, and don't throw that up to me now. You knew it when you married me. Will you close this door, please? Thank you.
Norman, here comes the car.
You got it? Huh?
Here, quick.
Quick what?
Quick, go out and stop them and ask for help.
Oh, I'll catch cold.
So you'll get warm again.
Yeah, don't you? They'll recognize
Now,
me.
you keep your face down. Go on. There may not be another car for a week.
Well, howdy, partner.
Howdy.
Stuck?
Yeah, how'd you guess it? Can you get us some help?
Well, I reckon not. You know, it's a long way to town. We're pretty busy down at the place.
Well, I gotta get out of here. I've got my wife with me.
Doesn't she like the country?
No, and we're short of food.
There's a lot of game in them woods.
You know, well, my wife can't shoot.
Well, you're sure up against it. Sorry I can't do anything for you.
Well, wait, listen, I'll be frank with you. I'm Norman Maine.
Who?
Norman Maine.
Well, my name's Judd Baker. Glad to have met you. Well, so long. Hey, wait a minute. Listen, you don't...
So you're Norman Maine.
I got my prestige to look out for. I'm supposed to be the best publicity man in the racket, and they laugh themselves sick when I even try to get a decent mention of Maine.
Yes, I know how sensitive you are, Libby, and I don't like to see your feelings hurt.
Thanks, boss. Now, Vicky, there's a dish for free space. But if Maine swam across the Pacific, the papers would keep it a secret. Well, the exhibitors don't like him, the critics don't like him, the public don't like him, and I don't like him. Who likes him?
Oh, but darling, this is almost too much of a surprise. And there I was in my touching innocence, thinking we were going to live at the beach house.
Oh, we'll still keep the place at Malibu. But this is special. This is our castle. It used to be in the air, you know? Well, we'll never use any ugly words like contracts and pictures and careers. When we come in those gates, we'll check the studio outside. Come on, I got another little surprise for you.
Oh, Norman, it's lovely.
So are you lovely. The whole world's lovely.
Hey, hold it! That's it. Caption: their honeymoon never ends. All right, let's get some pictures. Now, if the bride will sit here and the groom stand behind her, we'll have something unique. Now let's go after something different. You sit down and she'll stand up.
Pretty radical, isn't it?
Yeah, but in a nice way. Okay, I don't fire. Caption: their honeymoon begins anew.
Ah, the producer. Caption: their honeymoon ceases abruptly. Hello, Oliver, glad to see you.
No, I'm glad you're back.
Thank you.
Vicky, how well you're looking.
Hello, Oliver.
Am I interrupting?
Yes, thank you.
Just want a couple more pictures.
That's enough of both of them. What they're asking for is exclusives of Miss Lester. Alone.
Oh, I see. Well, come on, Oliver, let you and me get exclusive.
See you later, Vicky.
But don't worry, Otto. My camera smashing days are over.
They ain't your only days that are over. Oh, hold that, Miss Lester.
Gorgeous.
Well, Oliver, how's the dividend situation?
Very pleasant. I think we'll show $2 million on the next quarter.
Los Angeles, I'm pretty sure.
Smart move of mine to sell my stock.
For sure. I'm just...
Like where this part in particular?
Yes, it's just
sorry.
the Roosevelt Hotel, or, you know...
it could be, like the old Roosevelt Hotel.
Yes, I know, but still it does rain.
Could be Beverly
Well, anyway, you can thank me for some of those dividends of yours.
We had a bunch of bungalows and stuff.
Oh, can't you?
Oh, sure, sure.
That was a little too quick, Oliver. Might have Enchanted Hour was a smash hit, wasn't it?
Well, it made Vicky a star overnight.
Yes, it should have. What about me?
Oh, let's talk about business at the office, Norman. Beautiful pool you have here. Beautiful.
Oh, now let's talk about it here. Didn't they like me?
Well, maybe the pot wasn't just right.
That was the best part of the year. Look, Oliver. Do you think I'm slipping?
Can you take it?
Go ahead.
The tense is wrong. You're not slipping. You've slipped.
Oof.
Come on. My fan mail's still big.
Norman. Fans will write to anybody for a photograph. It only costs 3 cents for a stamp, and that makes photographs cheaper than wallpaper. But every 25 cents they pay for a theater ticket buys them the right to be a critic. And your last few performances, Norman, have not pleased your critics.
You remember I told you I'd be ready for the curtains when the time came? Here it is. Let's call off the contract, no hard feelings.
We're not quitting, either of us. There's no explaining these things. We've all seen how the public turns. Maybe we can turn them back. I've got a swell script lined up for you.
About Esther. If you think that I'm going to get in her way...
Well, as a matter of fact, as it happens, there's no part in this story for her. I'd more or less planned to star her in a picture of her own, with that young Pemberton opposite her. He's coming along nicely.
Good for young Pemberton. All right, Oliver. We'll make a try at it. Let's hope it's not too late.
No argument. I'll buy those. Huh. The screen's most finished actor. I'll say he's finished. He keeps them away in droves.
Why did it say it on that piece of paper? What was he reading? Theater Men's Guide? Oh my god.
Hello? No, Miss Lester isn't home as yet. No, I'm not the butler. But I can take a message just as well as he can, honest.
Oh, is that you, Norman? Swell. Listen, Norman, this is Artie Carver. Hiya, kid. Swell. Say, I hear you're through with Oliver Niles. Is that on the level?
Oh, please, Artie. I'm not news anymore. Forget it.
Say, what kind of a settlement did you make on your contract? Give me a figure so I can do a story on it.
There was no money involved. We just called it quits.
Okay, I'll fill in my own figure. Say, by the way, I've been trying to get an interview with Vicky for 2 weeks, but she's always busy. How about you giving an old pal a break by speaking to her for me?
Sure, I'll ask her.
Swell. So long.
I didn't mean to be late, darling, but Casey wanted
All
me...
right. You're here now.
What's new today?
Nothing. Haven't been out of the house.
Let's go somewhere tonight.
No, you're tired. We'll stay in.
I'm not tired, really.
Oh, yes, you are. You've got a hard day ahead of you. Anyway, I see so little of you, I'd like to have you to myself.
Oh, but it's the servants' night out. We haven't any
Yes, we have. I fixed a little snack with my own lily white hands. I'm learning to cook in my spare time.
Then I think I'll marry you.
Oh, I get it. You want to make an honest cook of me, huh? Comes in on wheels in this joint. How's it look?
Wonderful.
Huh? That's what I thought. Now then, don't be formal, just pitch in. Yeah?
I'm afraid my mouth's not quite big enough.
I'll measure it next time and make them to size.
A little hard to lift, too.
In fact, I think I'll take those measurements right now.
There's that kiss you're looking for.
Ooh la la.
Pretty sure.
That's what I wait for. All day.
That's why I rush home without even changing my clothes.
You're forgetting that we're hungry. Would you like a sandwich?
Thank you. I still have a little work on this one.
Is there no crust on those?
I don't think so. I think you cut the crust off.
Matt, why don't you ever cut the crust off when you give me a sandwich?
No, but will you unhook my dress? I can't breathe.
You know, I was told that the crust
All the time I thought it was the kiss
was good
that
for
made
you.
you breathless.
You know, it's like peeling
Why don't you have a zipper?
an apple
That's a good
before you
idea.
give it to somebody.
So the bread skin is the
got it?
best part.
Yeah, the bread skin.
Okay, got it.
Let's not call it the skin of the bread, please.
Well, just using his comparison.
Don't look now, but I think that guy on your left is in love with you.
I hope so.
It's the doorbell.
Is it? Maybe they'll go away.
Oh, I never do at a time like this. Here. Just a minute, dear. I'll be right back.
Does Vicky Lester live here?
Yes,
I got a package for her.
I'll sign for it.
Who are you?
I'm her husband.
Oh, sure. I'm right here, Mr. Lester.
Oh, sure.
It's so believable, though. Like a guy who thinks he recognizes him, but he doesn't really.
It's a package for you. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, they want you for a benefit to Shrine Auditorium next Wednesday night. I told them I'd ask you. And,
Oh, darling, I don't want to hear about that now.
well, you better wait till I finish before I forget them all. The Academy dinner secretary phoned. She wants to know if you want a table reserved for you. Oh, yes, Artie Carver called and asked if I'd use my influence with you to get him an interview. I told him I'd try. That was all, I think.
Oh, Norman, let's don't talk about those things now. We're forgetting the wonderful food you prepared.
Well, I'm not very hungry now. I think I'll fix me a little drink,
But, Norm,
Make her feel bad about all her success.
I wish Norman would come.
Now stop worrying. And think how nice that statuette's going to look on your mantelpiece.
Do you suppose anything's happened to him?
But of course not. He's just been held up in traffic. You think about that statuette.
And now we arrive at the climax of the annual dinner of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, the highest award within our power to bestow. We have already applauded with our hearts as well as our hands, while awards have been given those gentlemen who during the past year have rendered distinguished service to the motion picture industry. We now pay honor to the ladies, or rather to one lady. We offer to her the Academy Award for the finest performance of the past year. She has already had the world's acclaim, but this is the tribute of her fellow workers, the men and women of this industry. It is not only my pleasure, but my privilege to present this award to the actress who created the unforgettable Anna in Dream Without End, Miss Vicki Lester.
Say it again. Vicki Lester.
Say the name.
Vicki Lester. Everyone in this building, come in this room and say your name. Please, right now.
Vicki Lester.
You, over there, say your name.
Vicki Lester.
What more can we say, Miss Lester? This says it all.
Do we know what year the first Oscar ceremony was? It seems they just had the 100-year 1990.
Would this be at the Hotel Roosevelt then?
Ladies and
1929.
gentlemen,
Oh, there you go.
when something like this happens to you, and you try to tell how you feel about it, you find that out of all the words in the world, there are only two that really mean anything. Thank you. All I can do is to say them to you from my heart. All I can do is to keep on saying them.
Hey, that's fine. All this thing. That's a very pretty speech, my dear. Very pretty. You said the right thing. I want to be the very first one to congratulate you on that valuable little piece of bric-a-brac. Now I want to make a speech. Gentlemen of the Academy and fellow suckers, I got one of those once for a best performance. They don't mean a thing. People get them every year. What I want's a special award, something nobody else can get. I want a statue for the worst performance of the year. In fact, I want 3 statues for the 3 worst performances of the year, because I've earned them. And every single one of you that saw those last masterpieces of mine knows that I've earned them.
Libby, start the music.
What I'm here to find out is, do I get them or do I get them? Now answer, yes or no.
Norman, darling, let's go and sit down.
Come on, Norman, sit to that.
Glad to see you, Norm.
Hello, Norman.
Well, Norman, how are you?
Hi, Oliver.
My dear, do let me congratulate you. You must be terribly proud and happy tonight.
Thank you.
Somebody give me a drink.
Thank you for submitting questions in chat. I have some of them here to answer. Matt, are you ready?
I guess. Let's do it.
Okay, the first one is for you. When did you realize you wanted to become an actor?
when did I realize I wanted to become an actor? Well, I remember when I was a kid, I was in 2nd or 3rd grade. I was in, might have even been 4th grade. But anyways, I was in elementary school, and we did a little play where there was this kid, and I don't remember his name, if it was like Tommy or something, the absent-minded student. And I was cast as the absent-minded student. And I remember in that show, one of the actors, one of my friends, he'd forgotten his lines. So I started to kind of improvise and kind of goof around. I was mouthing somebody's words, and they got some laughs from the audience. And I remember as a kid understanding that somehow improv was going to be part of my life and acting was going to be part of my life. And I didn't really touch it at all until I was in high school, and I used to play video games a lot. And I remember my dad coming to talk to me, and he said, your mom's concerned, and you need to get involved in some sort of clubs. And I remember he said, I don't care what sort of clubs it is. It could be, FFA, it can be chess club. I don't care what clubs you get involved in, but your mom's concerned and you need to get involved in some clubs. So it was at that point that I was in junior high, and I went out and tried out for a play. Didn't get cast, but I did get cast in the tech crew. So I was helping out in the booth doing lights and sound, and that's where I met some awesome individuals that inspired the rest of my life. So thanks to my dad kicking me out of the house and meeting some directors, Alphonse Kenningsman, and yeah, kind of set me on my career path.
Okay, but from a pretty early age, it's been a part of your life, it sounds like.
Yeah, elementary school, and then I got into it actually when I was in junior high, high school. Yeah. How about you? Is that a question you need to answer, or just?
Well, I don't want to be an actor, so.
But film.
That's true. I don't entirely have a moment when I knew that I wanted to go into film, but I always liked making short films at home, roping my family and neighbors and friends and anybody into them. Into the nonsense. I did a lot of theater, but that's because there wasn't a good film outlet when I was younger.
How old are you?
I don't exactly remember. Young, maybe middle school-ish I started, because we had the big shoulder pack VHS recorded thing, and we'd always take home videos from before my birth. We have A through Z and then A through Z again of home videos on VHS tapes. So yeah, filmmaking has been around for a while. I mean, in a brief stint in college, I thought maybe I'd be an archaeologist, but then that was hard. So I realized I can just make movies about archaeology.
Turns out Indiana Jones's career wasn't exactly what you thought it was.
Yeah, it's pretty close to true.
Yeah.
Yeah. What life lessons did you learn from your father?
Do you want me to start this one, or do you?
Sure.
Okay. Life lessons. Always check your oil. Watch for deer. And don't lie. Yeah. And the rest of the stuff was just working hard and, ask questions. I remember my dad telling me that. He sent me into Ace Hardware one day, and he told me to get him something. And I went in and I came back out the wrong thing, and I'm like, I wasn't sure what to get. He's like, my dad's like, did you ask him any questions? And I said, well, no, I just thought this was it. He's like, in life, you need to ask questions, Matt. So that always stuck with me as a life lesson, is to ask questions. How about you?
Okay. A lot of the, well, not checking your oil or watching for deer, but I guess not specific to him. I don't know. He was always a pretty happy, helpful person. So I think I learned from him the importance of trying not to stress in stressful situations, trying to be compassionate to other people and patient. One thing that he always did whenever he was answering the phone and he knew that it was a friend of his calling, he would always answer the phone and go, "Hey, boss." And I don't know, I thought that was really a nice, humbling way to answer the phone. All of his friends were always very, he just treated everybody with a lot of regard. So I think I learned that too. Yeah.
Hey, boss. I like that. That's
yeah,
good.
I'd be like, "Hey, boss," and he had a big voice. You could always tell that he was talking to one of his friends on the phone. So I thought that was nice. A memorable food your dad made. Anything besides Dad's noodles?
Well, we'd go fish with my dad, and he'd fillet fish and cook those up. We did a lot with a deep fryer. So we used to have a deep fryer, and my dad would go fishing, and he'd deep fry all these different, northern whatever we caught. And he would bread them, and he would deep fry them. And yeah, I always remember that about my dad is, cooking up fish. That's good.
Do you guys go ice fishing?
I didn't go as much of ice fishing as just regular fishing out of the river, but yeah, we go ice fishing too. We had some various fishing lodges, not lodges, ice fishing houses. Yeah, that's what they are. Not as much, but yeah, we definitely go ice fishing. You?
Okay. We went ice fishing sometimes. Not as many times. My sister goes a lot more than I do now, but there's nothing like a fish fresh from the lake that they just fry up right there. It's very good. So, let's see. He grilled a lot. He really liked grilling. He, one of the favorite things that he would make for us on Sundays sometimes was he'd do pancakes, but he would do them in shapes.
Oh,
so he would do like a K for me or an M for my sister or a bunny or a cat or kind of, he'd ask us what shape and he would make pancakes in the shape. So that was pretty special. And then he always made this thing called mush. I never liked it, but it was basically milk. You heat up milk and flour, and then you just kind of keep adding flour until it becomes a paste. And then you like sort of just blap it out on a plate and add a ton of sugar and butter. And then you just eat it up. Kind of like, it had like a smoothie consistency to it. I never liked it, but the rest of my family loved mush, and he would make it, and I never really got it.
It sounds like something you'd eat in prison.
Yeah, akin to gruel, I'm sure. But it was an Ingy family
tradition.
Yeah, they loved it. And then the last question was Dad's favorite meal. Do you know your dad's favorite meal?
Dad's favorite meal. I don't know if I know his favorite meal. I mean, we'd make lasagna. I know he liked lasagna. My dad's favorite drink. So if we're gonna make it, baskets are sort of big in my family, or my mom would make baskets for people. So if you're making baskets for my dad, you would make sure that there's like some beef jerky in there, some peanuts. He likes peanuts. He likes crushing, like a little nut crusher, eating nuts like that. But his favorite drink is near beer and clamato juice.
What?
Yeah. So non-alcoholic beer and clamato juice, because my dad didn't really drink too much when we were growing up, or at least he wasn't when I was around. And he would have near beer and clamato. And it's pretty much a 50-50 split, and it's not bad. It's not bad.
Did it have like a name? Was it like?
I don't think so. He'd say, "Get me a beer and clamato," or I have heard it talked about in the bar, which I don't know if it's the same thing quite. There's variations on this, but it's called red beer. A red beer. Very Midwest thing. But you'd be surprised about how many bars in the Midwest have clamato. That's clam juice and tomato.
I mean, it's used for Bloody Marys sometimes. So
yeah, it's delicious.
Oh, hell.
We'll switch roles once. I'll make my dad's near beer drink one night.
And I'll pour cereal.
Perfect.
My dad he really liked baked beans. So there's like a baked bean hot dish type of thing that my mom would make sometimes. He also really loved corn on the cob, and he would eat it. It was disgusting. Back to the napkins. You have to like triple napkin, and then he would and I do this too, so no judgment, but he would slather it with butter and salt, and then he would just typewriter across it, and it would just be just everywhere, just shameless. And it would be gone in 30 seconds flat. It was impressive. But now I love corn on the cob because he just made it look so good.
It is good.
He just loved eating it that way.
I picture your dad is driving a convertible down the road, and then he has all these napkins that are billowing in the wind, flying off of him.
Yeah, just napkins all the time. And he really liked Grain Belt Premium beer.
Grain Belt.
Yeah, that was his.
The friendly beer. If you're not from Minnesota, it's a friendly beer. It's really good. Grain Belt's awesome.
Yeah, so that was his.
Did your dad ever make breakfast stuff? Did he make?
He made some pretty good omelets, and yeah, pancakes were kind of his jam. But he was good at frying. He was pretty good at he was a decent cook. He just it was all very simple. Anything that we ate was pretty much, you know, what you'd expect it to be. So it was like quick and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking that when you're asking too. I remember back now that my dad would make us usually eggs before going to school, scrambled eggs, maybe some onions.
Mhm.
But like how important that is that kids get food before they go to
Yeah.
school. And you know, there's a lot of us, so it's like wasn't always easy. But scrambled eggs, and or if it was Sunday, he'd make French toast, sausages, you know, Italian sausage, you know, whatever it was, just a big old breakfast.
Yeah.
And I always liked that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that he liked to come into the kitchen when Mom was cooking, and he liked to just see what he could grab
Just
while she
sample.
wasn't looking.
Just sample it.
Go around her and get stuff. Oh, yeah. Wow. Those are all the dad questions that we had. So I think we're on our last bit of this film. So hang in there. And then we get to see what all of these things that you made look like.
It's gonna be good. All right, guys. We'll catch you back in the film, and then we'll see you at the end. And remember, trivia at the end, so stick around, be paying attention. Very soon, you guys are going to be getting some special goodies for answering the trivia questions right. Yeah. Uh-oh.
Oliver, it's nice of you to come to my dressing room.
Vicky, how are you?
I've missed you. Everyone's missed you. Have a nice trip.
Well, a 3-month tour of the theater circuit scarcely comes under the head of pleasure. But the way they're screaming for your pictures all over the country. Miss Lester, if I may talk shop, you are a knockout.
Thank you. It's good to hear that.
You've been crying.
A little.
How's Norman?
Well, he's trying awfully hard, Oliver.
Letting Norman leave this studio was the hardest thing I ever did. There was nothing else I could do.
I know.
Has he been... Is he all right?
He's gone to a sanitarium. He really wants to stop drinking.
Maybe looks like something from like
And I think
Elizabethan
he
times
could.
or something.
Well,
Yeah, it's definitely
perhaps if he could start working again, there would be some encouragement.
She needs a mole.
Oliver, could you do that? Oh, thank you. But he mustn't ever know I told you.
She won't know, and you mustn't worry. I want you to keep
We've
up
got
your
a
good
fish
work in
hunter
this
here
picture.
at the Crockpot Cinema set.
It's the one thing I can do for you.
There's a fish
And he's
here.
got
You'll
a
know.
keen smell for fish.
If you'll just sit here, Mr. Niles, I'll have Mr. Maine brought down.
Thank you. Brought down.
Does Fox have a favorite fish, do you think, Kate?
You know, in all the foods that he eats, it's usually tuna.
Tuna.
But
yeah.
He's not a huge fish eater. He's more into chicken.
Hello, Oliver.
Oh, okay. Chicken.
Welcome to Liberty Hall.
I mean,
Hello,
if the fish is
Norman.
around,
Yeah.
he'll
Yeah.
taste it. Sure.
No, Mr. Niles isn't slipping me a case of scotch, Cuddles. This is just a handshake. This is Cuddles, Oliver, my social secretary. We go everywhere together.
How are you feeling, Norman?
Fine. Getting along remarkably well, Cuddles tells me. He says you ought to see some of the boys. Let's sit down. Yeah. Cuddles, we really don't need you. Touching, isn't it? Can't bear to have me out of his sight.
Are you comfortable here, Norman?
Comfortable. It's positively luxurious. They even have iron bars in the windows to keep out the draft.
How much longer are you going to be here?
Oh, well, I'm really cured now. I'm just staying on for an extra week or two to get in good shape, you know. After all, there's no particular hurry to return to the cameras.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. I've got a script with a fine part for you in it.
Gee, Oliver, that's great. That's great. Who plays opposite me?
Well, it is not exactly the lead. Young Pemberton's doing that. But I tell you frankly, I consider your part better than the lead.
Oh, I see. It's better than the lead.
Well, of course, it isn't terribly long. But it's one of those parts that makes an impression on you. They'll be thinking about you all through the picture.
Mm-hmm. Well, The thing is, Oliver, I'm pretty well set at another studio. I'm not at liberty at the moment to tell you which one. You know yourself how those things are.
Of course.
But it's a big picture. It's one of the biggest of the year. And the part. Every actor in Hollywood would give his teeth to play it.
Well, that's fine, Norman. Naturally, that will tie you up for a while. But we won't get to this picture for some time. And perhaps, if you want to consider it for later on,
Well,
we'll be...
I'll tell you, Oliver, you'd better not count on it. See, I've got several pictures lined up after this one. Then they're talking to me about England. You know, they're doing some very interesting things over there, you know?
Hey.
What is it, Cuddle? Speak right out. We all love you.
Your dinner.
Oh. Here we dine at 5:30.
We all love you.
Makes the nights longer.
Well, goodbye, Norman. I'm glad to see you getting along so well.
Be out in no time. I'll have to introduce myself all over to a lot of people. They won't know me when I'm not drinking. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Norman.
Thanks for dropping in. Well, Cuddles? Alone at last, eh?
I got a text from my dad, Kate.
Oh.
He said, grain belt, the brew that grew the great Northwest.
Oh.
That's what he used to say on the
Sure.
bottle or the van they deliver.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah, my grandpa, on my mom's side, he used to drink grain belt as well.
Mm-hmm.
The beer of the Midwest.
Yeah, I mean, that was technically the first beer I ever had when I was like 11. He had let me have a sip of it, and it tasted like watered bread. I did not like it. So,
Watered bread. That makes sense.
I'm 11.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
It's two of the four ingredients in beers. Water and bread.
Oh, Bert?
Water and yeast.
How are you, Marion? Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello, Normie. Glad to see you. How I hate to run into these has-beens. They give me the creeps.
Me too.
He was good while he had it. And he had it quite a while. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Maine. I haven't seen you in a long time.
Oh, I've been resting. Ginger ale, please.
Ginger ale and what?
Ginger ale and ginger ale.
A new leaf?
A whole new book. Thank you.
Scotch straight.
Hello, Libby.
Why, it's Mr. America of yesteryear. Do they let you wander about now without a keeper?
Oh, sure. I'm a trustee now. Didn't expect to find you at Santa Anita. What do they do with the actors while you're away?
Oh, they cut them into slices and fry them with eggs. I suppose you'll be here all the time, now that you've retired from the hurly-burly of the silver screen.
Well, we're living down in Malibu now. Pretty lonesome with Esther away working all day.
Well, I wouldn't squawk about that if I were you. It's nice to have somebody in the family making a living.
Oh, wait a minute, Louis.
Do you guys think this actor is doing a character voice? Or
Friends,
is this like
my eye. Say, listen,
his
I
straight
got you out
voice,
of jams because I had to. It was my job, not because I was your friend.
Probably
I
a little
don't
bit of
like
both.
you, and I never
Probably
have
both.
liked you.
Yeah.
Nothing made me happier than to see all those cute little
sure it's more
pranks of
effective
yours
than his
finally
normal
catch up
talking
with you
voice,
and
but
land
I'm
you
sure
on
he
your
kinda talk
celebrated
like this
face.
anyways.
Where do you work, Libby? Always wait till they're down, then kick them.
I don't feel sorry for you. You fixed yourself nice and comfortable. You can live off your wife now. She'll buy you drinks and put up with you even though nobody else will.
Oh, wow. Oh! That was a good punch.
It's not a nice way that he said that.
Wait a minute. Come on outside for you.
Yeah.
I'm Norman.
Like, it's hard,
Maine.
'cause,
That's not my fault.
I don't bother to toss
This
him
is-
out.
They do make Norman kind of
All right, Mr.
sympathetic,
Libby,
which
if
is
you
the
say
trap.
so.
Sure, let
That's
him
the
go.
trap.
What can he do?
Yeah.
He can't fight any better than he can act.
That's tricky.
It's really complex
Oh,
thing.
he's drunk again.
Why, he's been drunk for years.
She is successful and she is deserving of her success.
He did make himself.
Yeah, like he shouldn't have to like lose his control because of that, right?
Give me a scotch. Double. Leave the bottle here.
Vicky, you'll be ill. Why don't you try to get a little sleep?
But he's been gone 4 days. 4 days and not a word. Oliver, I can't. I just can't.
Hello? No, this is Oliver Niles speaking. What? Where? Thank you.
What is it?
Nothing.
Oliver, tell me.
He's in the night court. He's been arrested on a drunk charge. Now, he's all right. He isn't hurt. I'm going right down and get him out.
I'm going with you.
Vicky, it isn't any place for you, and if it gets in the papers,
What do
there'll
I
be...
care about the papers? I'm going with you.
That's right.
Division 30, Municipal Court, County Los Angeles, now in session. The Honorable Judge J. Parrish presiding.
This is like the first iteration of Judge Judy.
Were you able to do anything?
Judge wouldn't even see me.
They used this scene like when they were pitching Judge Judy to the network.
Night court and all those things.
Yeah. I want to advise you that you're entitled to be represented by counsel, to be confronted by the witnesses that may testify against you, to compel witnesses to attend on your behalf to a public and speedy trial by the court or by a jury, and the right to be admitted to bail. Call the first 5.
Gregory, Hale, Kane, Rodriguez, Johnson. Come on, boys, get in. Go ahead. Move along.
William Gregory.
Plain drunk, picked up at 5th in town. Asleep in the gutter. 14 similar offenses in the past 6 months.
Still at it, Gregory. How do you plead?
I don't feel so good.
I didn't ask you how you feel. I asked you how you plead.
Guilty, I guess.
When did you get out the last time?
Just before Christmas.
Well, I'm sorry you'll have to miss New Year's, but you'll be out in time for Washington's birthday in 60 days. Milton Rails.
Welcome, Magnificent Supreme.
Plain
We're watching
drunk.
The Star is
Picked
Born.
up on Brooklyn
We're
Avenue.
actually
Given treatment
kind of
I've
towards
received
the
in
end,
hospital,
but you're still
then
in time
removed
to
to jail.
see what cool
How old are you, Rails?
17, sir.
Did you take a good look at those men in the cell with you last night?
Yes, sir.
And have you taken a good look at yourself this morning?
Oh, no, sir.
Well, I suggest that you do. $5 or 2 days. Sentence suspended.
Oh, Judge,
Alfred Henkel, more commonly known as Norman Maine.
Drunk and disorderly. Cracked car into tree at Sunset and Coronado. Evidently been drinking for days. Resisted arrest and injured one of the arresting officers.
How do you plead?
Guilty.
You're Norman Maine, the actor, aren't you? You've come pretty low, haven't you? There isn't a man here who's had the advantages you've had. Look what you've done with them. You're nothing but an irresponsible drunk, driving about the streets with the power to inflict death or injury on innocent people. I think we'd better deny you that power for a while. 90 days in the city jail.
Please wait. I'm his wife.
Yes, I recognize you, Miss Lester.
Please, Judge. I promise you this won't happen again. I'll be responsible for him. If you just won't send him there.
You realize that this man, when drunk, is obviously a menace to public safety? And you realize, too, Miss Lester, the responsibility you'll be assuming to this court and to the Commonwealth.
I do.
Sentence suspended. Prisoner remanded to custody wife.
Thank you.
You can get him at the jail entrance, madam.
Jose Rodriguez.
Plain drunk, picked up at 1st and Main. Second offense.
How do you plead?
I think I'm guilty, Your Honor.
60 days. I'm so tired.
Hold it, Mr. Maine, for picture.
Oh, no,
What
please.
about a statement for the press?
Oh, no, please.
He's still asleep. He's been asleep nearly all day.
the best thing for him.
Awful to see this happen to someone you love. And know in your heart that it can't get any better. I only know that all I can do now is stay with him and try to help him.
So will I. And between us, we'll take care of him.
You're very fond of him, aren't you, Oliver?
And I'm very fond of both of them.
Then I know you'll understand what I have to tell you. And after what happened last night, I think you already know what it is. I can't do any more pictures. I'm going away for good with Norman.
But you can't do that, Vicky. You're at the very peak of your success, and you've worked so hard to achieve it.
That's what's been wrong. Oh, I've thought it all out. Maybe if I hadn't been away from him so much, last night and what went before, it wouldn't have happened. Oh, I know it's too late to think about that now, but it may not be too late to go away with him and start over somewhere.
It's your life you're giving up, Vicky.
So I can try to give Norman back his. Can you honestly tell me I'm wrong to do it?
No, Vicky. I cannot honestly tell you that.
Then there'll be no more Vicky Lester.
Come on, walk to the door with me.
Hey,
Goodbye,
Brody
Vicky
Cooper.
Lester.
Welcome.
You were a grand
Crockpot
girl.
Cinema.
Good luck, Mrs. Norman Maine.
If anyone is looking for ideas of things to get me, that dress would be really cool. Just throwing that out there.
No big deal.
Yeah.
Is it do you think that's like a velvety kind of dress?
Yep.
Looks kind of velvety green, right?
Yep. That's a good dress.
She has like a Poison Ivy kind of vibe right now.
It's like all long and stuff.
Darling, this is Maine coming in to apologize again.
I'm sorry, dear, but it isn't you.
What other troubles have you got?
None. I was just playing a scene with myself.
Now look, I'm just coming out of the jitters and you're just going into them. This is a swell household.
Isn't it?
I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll promise to brace up if you'll go on the wagon.
I guess I have been drinking too much.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be an athlete.
You mean with great big muscles and everything?
Well, roughly speaking.
Join the YMCA?
No, it'll cost too much. I'm going wading out in our front yard.
Now?
Sure.
Would you like me to go with you?
Sure, if you'd like to.
No, me. I don't think I will. It might spoil this beautiful, natural wave.
Yeah, I guess that's right. But, darling, look, could you have a hot toddy, some hot soup for me when I come back?
Some hot soup.
Yeah. And I'll make some of those nice sandwiches.
No, me. Do you have to? Now, don't stay in too long.
Hey! You mind if I take just One more look.
First drink of water he had in 20 years. And then he had to get it by accident. Pardon me. How do you wire congratulations to the Pacific Ocean?
Oh, you can't see her face! Hello, Vicky.
Can't you?
Come on, Vicky, let's see your face. Vicky, will you sign my book for me? Write Mrs. Norman May.
Don't you care, Vicky. You get over it.
Stand back, can't you?
Don't you cry, dearie. He wasn't so much.
Do you mind if I take just one more look?
Here are the paychecks for the servants' graves. You'll find a very nice bonus in each one. Miss Lester asked me to thank you for your kindness and service.
If there's anything I can do for the little lady, I should be glad to do it.
She would appreciate your attending to the closing of the Beverly Hills house.
Put down those trunks. Put it down, I say. Well, where is she?
In the bedroom. Who are you?
Oh, I'm her grandmother. Get out of the way.
Esther, Granny, darling. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. What made you come?
Oh, I know when I'm needed. Now get out of here. Go on. Get out of here, all of you. I want to talk to my granddaughter alone.
I came just as quickly as I could. But I'm going home. I sent you a wire yesterday.
Sit down. Is it true that you're going to quit the movies?
I never want to hear them again.
What are you running away from, little girl?
I'm not running away. It's just that I can't go on. My heart isn't in it anymore.
Once I told you, if you get what you want, you have to give your heart in exchange. And you said you were willing. Do you remember?
I remember.
Well, it seems to me that you got more than you bargained for. More fame, more success, even more personal happiness. Maybe more unhappiness. But you did make a bargain. And now you're whining over it. I don't think I'd feel so very proud of myself if I were you, Esther.
I'm not, Granny. But my mind's made up.
And I'm sorry I gave you the money to come out here. It was just wasted.
Oh, but Granny,
I was proud of you, Esther. I was proud to be the grandmother of Vicky Lester. It gave me something to live for. Now I haven't any.
I know. Oh, I want to be strong, but I can't go on. I can't.
You must. Tragedy is a test of courage. If you can meet it bravely, it will leave you bigger than it found you. If not, then you'll have to live all your life with a coward. Because no matter where you may run, you can never run away from yourself. I never knew Norman Maine. He wrote me a very sweet letter when you were married. He said you told him how much I meant to you. And I know just how much you must have meant to him. You know, Esther, I can't believe that wherever he is, he can be very happy, knowing that his death broke the spirit of the little girl he praised me so highly for raising. And I can't believe that he can be very proud, knowing that all his great love did for you was to make you a quitter.
The car is ready, Miss Lester. We'll have to go now to make the train.
Put the car back in the garage. Granny.
The entire picture industry has come to the Chinese theater for this opening tonight. It has come to pay tribute to a great star on her long-awaited return to the screen in what has been called her greatest performance. It has come to pay tribute to the girl herself. The girl who has won the heart of Hollywood. The girl who has won the heart of the world. Miss Vicky Lester. And if I'm not mistaken, Miss Lester's car has just driven up. Yes, it is she.
This doesn't scare you too much.
I scare very slowly, young man.
Just smile, folks, please. They'll have your mug, I mean your face, plastered across half the papers in the country tomorrow.
How do I look?
Oh, you look swell.
You're a liar, but I like you.
And here's Miss Lester's grandmother. Won't you say a few words to the radio audience, please?
Say something, Letty.
You know, we've got a thing like that back home where they all listen in on, but we call it a party line.
Won't you say something, please? They're listening.
Maybe some of you people listening in dream about coming to Hollywood. And maybe some of you get pretty discouraged. Well, when you do, you just think about me. It took me over 60 years to get here, but here I am. And here I mean to stay.
Thank you very much. Miss Lester. This microphone is on an international hookup. Throughout the world, your fans are hoping that you'll say a few words to them.
Hello, everybody. This is Mrs. Norman Maine.
Trivia, go, go, go.
All right, and we have our plates completed. We have my dad's noodles, topped with a little salt and pepper to taste. We have the garlic spinach with a little bit of lemon juice, just a little bit to accent the taste. And then on top of that, we have the sweet, sweet lime light salmon topped with a little bit of our honey and lime glaze. I'm excited to try this.
Me too. It smells really good and looks really good.
That was a sad ending.
It was, but in a way, like, what I like about the film is that he is a flawed character, and he chooses to end the destruction that, like, he's caused and or could cause.
Yeah.
So I think that that's really noble, because I haven't seen the newer one, but I feel like they've all had different endings, and what I liked is that he does still care about her and her career and her success. Like, it wasn't a coattail for him.
Yeah.
You know, like, even when earlier on he thought he was getting in the way of it, he was like, well, I guess I can stop acting because if it's messing up her success. So I think that that's a nice through line.
He's always worried about her.
Yeah, like he did, you know, genuinely care about her success, which I thought was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, kind of a sad ending.
I like the grandma character. She's really sweet.
Oh, she's so good.
She's a rock star.
Yeah, she's everybody's grandma, I think. Yeah. Thanks everybody for watching. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, 1 p.m. for Photo Alchemy. And yeah, donate if you can. Subscribe, follow. What you drinking, Matt?
Oh, it's just a little family recipe. A little bit of near beer, a little bit of Clamato. It's all the right stuff.
No, it sounds wrong.
No, it's good. It's good. Happy Father's Day, Dad. And happy Father's Day to all fathers out there for bringing kids in the world and teaching us something to pass on and to remember and to laugh about. And yeah.
Yeah.
From Crockpot Cinema, happy Father's Day, everybody.
Do trivia.
Yeah, do trivia. We're not done yet.
It's a party in a crock pot. Roll me in. It's a party in a crock pot. I said throw a meal. It's a party in a crock pot.